Welcome to Glen. The purpose of this overview is to provide an update on exploration being carried out on Glen and the potential that it holds in terms of mineral extraction and commercialisation. In terms of key highlights, a recent drill program was completed and 11 of the 12 holes drilled encountered intersections with a magnetite ore body. Results to hand on the first 5 holes show the magnetite ore intersections to be between 14 metres and 33 metres in thickness, with iron content ranging to over 56% and averaging 37.23%. The magnetite ore body extends beyond the drilled area and is open on all sides at width and at depth, and further drilling and exploration activities are planned in the short term. The exploration and strong management is in place, and specialist advisors have been appointed to evaluate the commercialisation of the ore body. There is potential for mining operations to get going quickly to take full advantage of the excellent infrastructure. In addition, financial advisors have been appointed to care for a London AIM listing of the company scheduled for the first quarter 2011. The opportunity of potential high value increase short term. The Glen tenement is situated 40 kilometres south of the city of Townsville. Townsville is Australia's largest tropical city and a major regional centre for commercial and government services in North Queensland. The tenure for Glen is held within EPM 15654, which provides a permit for exploration through to mid-2012. It consists of 7 subblocks. The area of interest is fairly central to the tenement and focuses on an abandoned mine known as the Glen Pit. This slide depicts the general terrain looking east from west. The special area of interest is the Glen Pit. It represents the most significant mineralisation within the tenement and is described as a magnetite sulphide skarn. This photograph shows the elevation and extent of the Glen Pit. In the 14 years from 1955 to 1969, over 36,000 tonnes of ore was extracted by North Australian Cement Limited. The main commodity was iron, as magnetite and hematite used in the manufacture of cement. In 1969, the company was sold, and the tenement was surrendered and the mine abandoned. The tenement has virtually laid dormant since until recent times. In 2007, the tenement was taken up by Australian Gold Holdings Limited, who completed a ground magnetic survey and a soil survey. They were seeking a joint venture at the time, but went into receivership in October 2008. Glen Holdings took up the tenement in 2010, and 12 100-metre drill holes were completed in October 2010, which identified a magnetite resource. In 2007, Australian Gold Holdings had engaged TerraSearch, a specialist mineral exploration, geology and computing company based in Townsville, to carry out a ground magnetic survey over in excess of 5 square kilometres and an extensive series of soil sampling. The report is an extensive document covering 265 pages. Previous to this, the subject Glen tenement had not ever been properly mapped to understand its potential. The mapping depicted an extensive magnetic domain with the strong purple band shown here, which is on the high end of the colour legend. The TerraSearch report directs us to the strong magnetic ore body at the pit and the magnetic highs which run to the northwest and the buried magnetic high to the west. This then becomes the initial area of special interest. The geological model that best fits the field observations and current state of knowledge is of a large magnetic body with moderate contents of magnetite, within which are pods and bands of high grade to massive magnetite. They also state that this amounts to a mineralisation envelope of some 10 million tonnes based on this initial geological model. These 3 areas of high magnetic contrast are then identified further when we zoom in on this area. There is some hypothesis that these 3 areas could link up as part of a larger underground ore body, although this is speculation. However, the geological model was actually suggesting that they may be manifestations of the same mineralising system. In September 2008, an extensive soil survey was carried out in the area around the pit and the area of the buried magnetic high to the west of the pit. 110 soil samples were taken as part of this survey. The survey concluded that the iron content concludes about the southern end or extent of the iron Glen pit, that there was elevated iron, copper, lead, zinc and silver throughout the pit, and the copper was highest in the centre to the southern end of the pit, with the lead and zinc being highest to the northwest. It also concluded that all lines that were sampled are still mineralised, and that the mineralisation extends at least 200 metres northwest of the pit. In addition, it concluded the acknowledgement of the deeper magnetic source to the west. In October 2010, a drilling program commenced on the tenement under the supervision of TerraSearch to further identify the resource. A full report is expected to be received in December 2010, and this overview will be further updated at that time. The drill holes extended from approximately 30 metres south of the Iron Glen pit along its eastern boundary to a position 495 metres to the northwest of the first hole. Shown here is the setup and drilling of drill hole 1 south of the pit. Magnetite was not expected to be encountered here based on TerraSearch's suggestion that the mineralisation likely ends at the southern extent of the pit. Despite this, the drill hit a 14 metre thick intersection of magnetite, indicative here with the black magnetic dust. As with the other holes, the magnetite was then bagged and sent off for analysis. Drill holes continued over what was considered the mineralised area. Samples were collected combining 1 and 2 metre intervals during the drilling program, and approximately 700 samples were sent for assaying analysis. To date, preliminary results have been received for samples 1 to 340 from the first 5 holes, starting from the southern end of the drilling program area. The results of these assays confirms the presence of a magnetite ore body with iron grades up to 56.35% and averaging 37.23% iron within the predominantly magnetite zones. The early assay results also confirmed the intersections with other minerals of interest, such as silver up to 7 ounces per tonne and copper up to 1.2%. A complete report on grades and tonnage estimates is under preparation. Intersections with the magnetite body were encountered in 11 of the 12 drill holes, and whilst all results are not yet to hand, the information from the results of the first 5 holes show intersections with the magnetite ore body ranging from a thickness of 14 metres to 33 metres. The 33 metre intersection occurred in the holes to the northwest of the pit. In addition to the magnetite ore body, significant magnetite was found in the overburden, as is evident in the pit area here that clearly shows exposed magnetite virtually from the bottom to the top of the pit. This photo shows some of the magnetite boulders in the pit. The magnet can be seen stuck to the boulder on the left, the one on the right showing clear signs of copper evident from the green discoloration. Rock samples lying on the pit floor also show visible signs of silver, shown here in this sample. Although the current drill program has successfully delineated a magnetite resource, the full extent of the ore body cannot be determined as it remains open on all sides and at depth. A further drilling program will need to be undertaken to determine the length, width and depth of this ore body. In addition to the pit area where the recent drill program was focused, Iron Glen Holdings have identified a further 3 areas of interest on the tenement for potential mineralisation, which were determined from Landsat imagery, magnetic surveys and limited fieldwork. The company continues to work with TerraSearch in the exploration of the tenement and has recently appointed Mineral Innovations, a specialist magnetite mining and mineral operations company, to assist the company to complete a number of milestones over the next 6 months that will enable the company to reach a point to carry out an economic feasibility of developing open-cut mining operations to produce magnetite for the export market. The development and commercialisation of the Iron Glen tenement is enhanced by an excellent infrastructure. It is located only 40 kilometres south of the city of Townsville with a skilled workforce. It is 15 kilometres west of the main rail line. It's less than 40 kilometres from the deep sea port of Townsville. It is 20 kilometres south of the Ross River Dam, the main water supply for Townsville, and a major electricity transmission line transverses 3 kilometres north of the EPM. On the corporate development side, the board have appointed Religare Capital Markets to act as Iron Glen's London-based financial advisors to guide and advise the company in respect to its impending listing on London Stock Exchange Alternative Investment Market, AIM. Glen's listing on AIM is anticipated to occur in the first quarter of 2011. Religare is an investment bank offering a full range of services around the AIM listing and also enable a company to access some of the world's largest capital markets, which will provide a significant advantage in enhancing Glen's profile and increasing shareholders' value and liquidity. In summary, a recent drill program identified a high-grade magnetite resource. A report on the result of all drill holes is under preparation. The magnetite ore body extends beyond the drilled area and is open on all sides at width and at depth. Further drilling and exploration activities are planned in the short term. A professional and experienced team is in place with the potential for mining operations to get going quickly. In addition, financial advisors have been appointed to care for a London AIM listing scheduled for the company in the first quarter of 2011. The opportunity, a potential high value increase short term. For more information, Glen Holdings Limited is listed on the Australian Small Scale Offerings Board, ASOB. The company invites sophisticated investors wishing to participate in this ground floor opportunity to review the documents on the website asob.com.au/IGH and to give Mr. Tony Pools a call on Australia 61 400 250 259. Any implied offer herein is an excluded offer pursuant to Section 708, 8 and 11 of the Corporations Act 2001. Thank you for your interest.